The Ditherington Flax Mill, 1797 to 1885. The first iron frame building in the world is seen as the grandfather of skyscrapers. Revolutionary in that it was more fire-safe, pretty important innovation when you're dealing with textile manufacturing. The Home Insurance Building, 1885 to 1889. Officially the world's first, and known as the father of the modern skyscraper. It was the first to use steel in its frame. Since the outer walls no longer need to support the structure's weight, buildings can grow higher. Oh, and they will. Mole Antonelliana, 1889 to 1908. The Mole, Italian for a big monumental building, is home to Turin's National Cinema Museum. It has a glass elevator that takes you to the top terrace with a 360-degree panoramic view of Italy's first capital city. The Singer Building, 1908 to 1909. Built by the famous sewing machine company, it's the tallest building to be intentionally torn down. It was demolished when the World Trade Center was being built. The well-known House of Books in St. Petersburg is also a Singer building. The MetLife Tower, 1909 to 1913. The clock faces on each side of the column are taller than a giraffe and take up 3 floors, the 25th through the 27th. Their minute hands weigh 1,000 pounds, the hour hands over 700. They were the largest clock faces in the world when the tower was completed. The Woolworth Building, 1913 to 1930. The guy who commissioned the building, self-made millionaire Frank Woolworth, paid for the land and construction in cash. It'd be almost $340 million today. You can get a penthouse apartment on the top floors for a price of $110 million. The Bank of Manhattan Trust Building, 1930. In a race to the sky with the next building on the list, plans were changed at the last minute to make it even taller. Upon completion, it held the world record for 1 month, from April to May. But then… The Chrysler Building, 1930 to 1931. It swept in and took the title for the next 11 months. It was the first building to surpass 1,000 feet. Without the added spire, it wouldn't have been taller than the Bank of Manhattan Trust Building. They were hoping it would make them taller than the next one, too. The Empire State Building, 1931 to 1971. But the architects decided to make this one even bigger after hearing about Chrysler's added spire. It's the first building to have more than 100 floors and the longest record holder at 40 years. It was built so fast, the first 30 stories were done before plans for the top were even finalized. Original One World Trade Center, 1971 to 1973. The towers were huge, floors an acre in size, enough concrete between the two of them to build a sidewalk from New York to D.C. The site even had its own zip code. On a clear day, you could see into surrounding states from the top. Sears Tower, 1973 to 1998. Now called Willis Tower, it's made up of smaller connected towers with varying heights. This makes it more stable in the Windy City. It still usually sways about 6 inches, but it's built to withstand up to 3 feet. The Petronas Towers, 1998 to 2004. Made with 590,000 square feet of laminated glass, enough to cover 10 football fields. From above, the towers are shaped like 8-pointed stars. A double-decker connective sky bridge makes them form a giant M. Central Park Tower. A short break in our list to mention the world's current tallest residential building. Condos start at $60 million. The Lux Penthouse offers 17,000 square feet and spans the top 3 floors. Cost? Over $95 million. Taipei 101, 2004 to 2010. Taking the title away from the Petronas Towers, it's still the tallest building in an earthquake-prone zone. It's a little over 650 feet away from a major fault line, but it's built to withstand a magnitude 9 quake. Abraj al-Bayt Clock Tower. Another quick shout-out to a different record holder. It's the world's largest clock face. The tower is 35 times bigger than Big Ben, and the Arc de Triomphe could almost fit in the clock face. It's so massive, you can tell the time from 10 miles away. Shanghai Tower. It's the world's second tallest building, the tallest twisted one, and it has the fastest elevators in the world. They go over 45 miles per hour. The 120-degree twist in the skyscraper's body cuts down wind resistance by a quarter. The Burj Khalifa, 2010 to the present. It's 10 times the height of the Eiffel Tower, and all the aluminum in it could make 5 Airbus A380s. The current tallest building in the world, but it could be dethroned soon. Will it be Miapolis? From skyscrapers, humanity will move on to vertical cities. Everything a person could need in one megastructure: housing, offices, stores, restaurants, a rotating sky lounge, and even its own marina. The project was announced in 2010 after Burj Khalifa's completion, but it remains visionary. That means it's still on paper. Sky City 1000. The total floor area of this massive vertical city could fit the entire country of Monaco 4 times. Its base is wider than the Empire State Building is tall. Those 14 bowl-like layers are called space plateaus. The Burj Mubarak al-Kabir. Construction is planned for 2023, and it's supposed to be completed by 2030. Its height of 1,001 meters is an homage to the folktale 1001 Arabian Nights. It'll probably require triple-decker elevators. Jeddah Tower. Designed by the same architect who did the Burj Khalifa. Construction started in 2013, but has been on hold since 2018. It'll have double-decker elevators and an outdoor balcony half the size of a hockey rink and 2,000 feet off the ground. Azerbaijan Tower. A skyscraper twice the height of Taipei 101 was proposed in 2011, planned to be completed in 2019, but there's still no word on its status. It's part of the $100 billion Khazar Islands project, artificial islands forming a floating city of 1 million on the Caspian Sea. The Bionic Tower. A skyscraper that would house 100,000 people among 12 vertical neighborhoods. The base island it stands on would be over half a mile in diameter. Bionic, meaning biologically inspired engineering, the structure takes inspo from light hollow bird bones. Proposed in 1997, 2 cities have shown interest in funding it, but no word on its status. Nakheel Tower. Proposed in 2003, started in 2008, but put on hold in 2009 until this day. Look closer, and you'll see its 4 towers connected by sky bridges. Each inner tower would be wide enough in diameter for Big Ben to lie across. Advanced elevators could get you from the ground floor to the observation deck in just 4 minutes. Sky Mile Tower. We've officially entered mile-high territory. Twice the height of the Burj Khalifa, this mega skyscraper will house 55,000 people and use solar, wind, and algae power. The hexagonal shape reduces swaying. Millennium Challenge Tower. Twice the height of Angel Falls, the world's tallest waterfall, this is another skyscraper that'll be hexagonal. Only this designer was inspired by snowflakes. The Shimizu Megacity Pyramid. This algae-powered giant will be 14 times bigger than the Great Pyramid of Giza and house 1 million people. It's too large to even be built with today's available materials and methods. The designers expect it to be made from technology of the future, most likely carbon nanotubes. The goal? 2110. Dubai City Tower. It'll be so tall that you could lay it on its side and it would take you 36 minutes to walk its height. Elevators, even super fast ones, won't be enough. A vertical bullet train will take their place. It'll be made up of 6 outer buildings connected to and twisting around a central core. The Ultima Tower. A building half as tall as Kilimanjaro. You could lay 2 Burj Khalifas across its base and still have some extra room. It's so tall that we'll be able to use the atmospheric pressure difference between the top and the bottom to run electricity through the structure for its 1 million inhabitants. The Exceed 4000. Almost half the height of Mount Everest, 2 times taller than the Shimizu Pyramid, the tip of this thing will actually reach past the clouds. It'll use 3 million tons of steel. That's 3.5 times heavier than the Golden Gate Bridge. The Launch Loop. Technically not a skyscraper, but it will be the first human-made structure to reach nearly into space. It would take you an hour to drive its height. Lengthwise, it'll be almost half the distance from LA to New York. Its use? To launch objects and people into orbit for space tourism, exploration, and colonization without the need for rockets. Well, good luck with all that.